let's do something fun today and see if we can get this Craftsman chainsaw to run. It's actually a Roper chainsaw, but I got it with that 051. The guy basically just gave it to me. It's sort of a cool looking old saw. And anyways, it doesn't have sparks, so let's see if we can figure it out, see if we can get it to run. Okay guys, let's see if we can get this Craftsman chainsaw to run. This is made by Roper, rebranded by Sears, Craftsman. They're a pretty cool old saw. This one's cool. It has the 60s vibe going with the metallic blue and the white. But yeah, I already sort of checked it out. I popped the muffler off real quick, and the piston looks really good. It's got good compression, but it doesn't have spark. And usually what I found on these is the points just need to be cleaned. So let's see if that's the case. Get it to run without fooling with the carburetor. Sometimes you get lucky. Sort of like a XL12 home light. Yeah, everything looks really clean on it. Looks like a nice low mileage saw. So yeah, let's pop this side cover off. See what we got. Okay, there's our starter. Nice to see everything's metal cogs, dogs, or whatever you want to call them. Metal pawls. Nice. Yeah, it looks fairly clean inside. So, let's see. I'll do a little scraping in there and sort of blow it out a little bit, and then we'll see if we can pop this flywheel off. See what the points look like. Okay, got it all blown out. So we'll take our little impact, and boy, I tell you, these impacts are like so nice. You don't have to fool around trying to hold the piston or trying to shove rope down in there and stuff. Usually you can just take this impact and just boom, buzz it right off. And I went for years without using one, and man, they sure are nice. Oh wow, it was loose. Put the nut back on to where it's flush with the end of the crank. And then this one's going to be a little tricky, because usually I like to get a screwdriver in behind the flywheel and just sort of tap it in there to put a little pressure on it. But we'll see if we get lucky. Get us some kind of a punch. This is a steel one. I need to get like a brass drift or something, but it should be fine if I'm careful. So yeah, just let's give it a little smack and see if it comes loose. Whoa! Wow! That was nice. One hit and she popped loose. And the nut was loose too, so that makes me a little nervous, like maybe somebody was in there before, fooling around. Oh wow. So there's the flywheel. The frick? Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Check this out. Can you guys see that? Focus. It sheared the flywheel keys sheared. See how it's in two pieces? Oh man, now I'm gonna have to find another one, but that's a good sign. That could have been all the problem is. Let's take a look at the crankshaft. It looks fine. Interesting. You just never know what's gonna happen on these saws. So let's take a look at the points, just right underneath this cover here. There's the points. Let's take a look. Open them up. No, they don't look like they're burned or anything. Let's find a little sandpaper, a little ultra fine, clean up those points. So you just take a little piece, fold it into a little stick like that, open them up, stick it in, and just move it back and forth. That's probably good. Hold on, I think I need to take the bar and chain off so I can turn it from the other side. Okay, got the side cover off, and yeah, somebody already took the guts out. The sharpening mechanism thingy. It's a pretty cool looking cover though. Bolt action, power sharp. It's got a nice Oregon chain on it. Look how clean this thing is. Yeah, I don't think this thing was hardly used. Look at that funky clutch. But now I can turn it at least and see. Oops. See if the bar and chain, or see if the points open and close. So yeah, points are opening and closing. It's got a pretty large gap. So let's fix that. So yeah, it seems like they're all about 0.15 for the gap. Let's see where this one's sitting. Yeah, pretty wide. Pretty wide. Okay, 0.15. Okay, points are good. Okay, now let me go dig around and see if I can find a flywheel key. Here we are at Ace. Gonna try and find me a Woodruff key. I sort of dug them out a little bit. This one might work. I might have to file on it a little bit. Yeah, let's see what we can find. Okay, had to go to the hardware store, find a Woodruff key. So there's the broke one, and then I found one that was just a little big. It was actually this one. I bought 2 of them. And then I filed it down a little bit. It needs a little more filing. But yeah, it doesn't take much to file them down. They're pretty soft. So anyways, let's see if that works. Okay guys, I found one at the hardware store. Had to file it down a little bit, like I showed you, but I would have showed you filing it in my vise, but my vise is my camera holder. So I had to take the camera out. So anyways, let's put this key in and see if it works. Scrape the sawdust from inside the flywheel. I suppose it would throw it off balance a little bit if it had too much in there. Okay, let's see if we can get this guy on here. Okay, I found a washer. Let's see if we can suck this guy down. I think it's there. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's see if we got spark. We'll just use this. So let's see, which way do we gotta go? This way, other way. So let's see what we got. Oh, hold on. Make sure the switch is on. There it is. spark. We got spark. Did you guys see that? That scared me for a minute because I had no spark and I just didn't have the ignition switch on. So yeah, let's put it together and see if it runs. See, there it is. There it is. Okay. Now let's put the plug back in. And let's see if we can get this thing to pop off. Somebody put a brand new spark plug in it. Thank you, whoever that was. Trying to get her going, probably. Plug it in. Okay. The moment of truth. I got me my little fuel bottle right here. So, ignition on. Put a little fuel down the carb. Let's see if we can get it to pop off. It helps if you put the starter on. These frickin' guys. Okay, got the starter back on. Helps if you got the starter. Okay, let's see what this thing does. Oh, man, this thing got some compression. Ugh. You hear that? Yes. Man, that thing has got some compression. Almost needs a compression release. Okay, let's fuel it up. Fuel this bad boy up. Okay, let's give her a little fuel, see what she does. See if she'll pop off again. Okay, let's see if I'll keep trying and see if we can get it to pull some fuel. Skunked again. Here we thought we were gonna have an easy time, get this thing going. But oh no. So what 3 things do we need for a gas engine to run? We need fuel, spark, and compression. Well, we got no fuel. I saved you guys the agony. Anyways, I tried to start it, tried to get it to pull fuel, and it just wouldn't do it, so popped the carb off. I thought, oh, it just needs a carb kit, so I actually had a carb kit laying around, so I put a diaphragm in it, cleaned it up, and then I got to messing with the fuel line, and this thing has a funky fuel line setup. It's sort of like an XL12, but so it goes in this hole. Can you guys see that? So here, look. That hole, like back in the corner there, is where the fuel line goes in there. And apparently, here, I'll stick it in there. And apparently, there's some kind of a union inside there, which is really stupid because you can't get to it without taking the saw clear apart. Anyways, it goes in there, and it was basically rotted off inside. So somewhere in here, there's a connection, and it came off this side. The side going into the tank is still good. So yeah, so now I gotta basically, and I was looking at this thing, I was like, how in the hell? So I think you have to take the whole rear handle assembly off to get inside here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I gotta take these 4 bolts out. Probably gotta unhook a bunch of crap back here. But that's cool. It'll give me an opportunity to do some cleaning. So let me do that, and then we'll come back to it. Oh, praise the Lord. I found a way to get into that fuel line without tearing the whole saw apart. So check this out. There's a little access. There's 2 screws right here. And there's a little access port thing. Look at this. And it's still a little hard to get to, but at least you can see it. See the fuel line? So there is like a junction right there, see? And it just broke off, fell off, so I'm gonna see if I can finagle a fuel line in there. and then we should be good to go. So let me do that. Okay, I thought I could get it on there, but I couldn't get in there to get anything on it, so had to break her in half. It wasn't too bad, just 4 bolts here, and then 1 on the bottom, and then unhook the oil lines. And the kill switch line. What do you want, cat? What do you want? What? Yeah, check this out. Remember I was talking about how it needs a decompression valve? Well, apparently it has one. It was underneath here, but it's like, how in the heck? How does it push itself? That's interesting. Let me get this cleaned up. I'll see if I can figure it out. Oh yeah, I was going to show you. It's a reed valve saw. So see, the cage just sits in there. The reed cage just goes in there. Crazy. Okay, let me clean this up. Okay, so she's all cleaned up. I got my fuel line in there finally. So yeah, now it's time to put her back together. But yeah, isn't that crazy? It's got a little compression release thing right there. And I figured it out. We'll have to try it and see if it works, but so see that hole right there? So up in there, there's a tab that sticks down, and when you push down on this, and this this on-off switch is spring-loaded, and you can push it down. So I'm thinking that so that's off. You turn it on and then push it down to start it. I don't know, something weird like that. We'll have to try it and see. So yeah, let me get this back together. Okay, I got this thing back together, guys. And man, the more I look at this saw, the more I appreciate all the cool little features it had. Look at this thing. So yeah, it has, so see right here, this is the oiler controller. So when you pull the throttle, see it pulls that plunger out and gives it more oil, I'm assuming. So yeah, that's pretty interesting, huh? And then speaking of oiling, it has this automatic adjuster here. You can make it have more oil or less oil. And it's an automatic oiler, and then it has the override here. So you can give it more oil if you want. And then I figured out this ignition switch, start switch. It's pretty ingenious, really. So see this notch right here? So you push this down and back, and then if you put it back in that notch, it opens the throttle, and it also pushes that compression release valve that's under there, so it makes it a lot easier to start. And speaking of starting, check this out. So yeah, speaking of starting, check this out. So we got it in start mode with the compression release on. She's a runner. That's so cool. And it sounds strong too. Like I said, I think this saw is like hardly used. It feels really new and crisp. But yeah, look at the compression this thing has. Like when you try to start it without the compression release. It's got a lot of compression. So yeah, let me get this thing. Next thing I want to do is clean up the bar and chain. Let me get that cleaned up. And we'll put it back on, and then we'll fire this thing up. Maybe we'll go cut a piece of wood with it, see what it does. There it is, guys, in all its glory. She cleaned up pretty nice. It's actually a pretty cool looking saw. She cleaned up nice, guys. Okay, let's see if she'll start. It's cold. I haven't started it in a couple days. So we'll push it down to engage the compression release. pull the choke, give her some pulls. Come on. Now she's ready. Wait for some cars to go by. It's fired up. Okay, let's see how the higher performance Craftsman does. Thing's nice. All the oil's burning off the muffler. That's cool. So there you have it, guys. The Roper high performance Craftsman, Sears, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's a neat old saw. I sort of scoffed at it when I first saw it because I was like, Craftsman, just some old junk. But once I started cleaning it up and working on it, I sort of got to liking it. So yeah, this is a keeper. She's gonna stay in the collection. All right, catch you guys later. See you on the next one.